Hey guys, Vince here from AutoIndustriya, and we are here on a very, very cold morning in South Korea for the Seoul Motor Show. Actually, sorry, no longer Motor Show, Mobility Show. That's really the wave of the future. So let's go inside and see what they have to offer and get warm. So we're now inside the KINTEX Exhibition Center for the Seoul Mobility Show. Now, to give you an idea of the scale of this venue, it's about maybe, think World Trade Center, but I don't know, maybe times 4, maybe even bigger. So it's a big space, and you have a lot of basically space in between the booths. It's actually a lot of breathing room in here, which is very, very nice. Now, we're walking through the aftermarket part of the portion, but the big thing they're really highlighting here is mobility. That's why you have a lot of other motorcycles, personal mobility devices. And right now, walking to our right, check it out. We have a robot dog, which is really cool. I want one. How long would it take to train him? But first, we're going to check out Kia. Now we're approaching the Kia booth. Their display is actually huge because they've got 2,400 square meters of space on their booth because they really want to showcase what the future holds for mobility and for their automobiles. Right beside us is the Kia EV6 GT. Actually, the EV6 was just launched in the Philippines. They're offering this model already, not specifically in this spec, in our market. So if you're really in the market for something for the future, well, that's something to look at. But one of the biggest headliners of this show will be the largest SUV electric that Kia has ever offered, which will be the EV9. Let's wait for it and check it out later. The interesting part about any international motor show is we get to see a lot of models we don't see in the Philippines. Like this one, this is the Niro EV. And you know what, let me know in the comments what you think this vehicle looks like, because when you're walking past it at the show, it really stands out, really just kind of gets you to walk up to it and check it out. I like the color, I like the front. Of course, being an EV, that's why you get pretty much very minimal cooling in front, venting, because they don't really need that much. And looking inside, oh, static. That was nice. Looking inside, it's very futuristic, very straightforward. This is a model we don't get in the Philippine market yet. Hopefully they offer it soon, but it looks very neat. Even this is very unique, the trim. Now, of course, Kia offers a lot of technologies, a lot of different styles of vehicles in the market. Of course, style is something very important to Kia because that's what they bank their success on. That they started offering vehicles with a really unique style, and we're seeing it right here. Yeah, you know what? This really stands out, and it would be really cool if they offered it in the Philippines. Right here is another model from Kia. It's called the Niro Plus. And looking at the grille right now with the Tiger grille, you know what? I'll venture a guess without even knowing it's an EV because, again, minimal cooling. But the interesting about this vehicle, it's really more like an MPV. And compared to the other Niro, this one is far more conventional looking, which is actually nice. When you look at it inside, it's very cool. But here's the unique thing about this. They have it set up for glamping, well, car camping actually. Imagine taking this on Valentine's. Wait, that was last month, right? Now in the Philippines, we don't get many Kia taxis, but well, this one is actually an interesting one as well. It's another Niro Plus, just like the one with the glamping setup, but this one is configured for taxi use, which is cool. I mean, it's very straightforward. They could actually put this in London and it would look very, very at home. Now inside, pretty much the same, pretty much conventional. But yeah, the way it's configured, it's got the maximum legroom configured in the back. It's got a yellow trim inside. Yeah, if this was a cab, I wouldn't mind paying flag down fares for this. Maybe a little extra. At the Seoul Mobility Show, Kia just revealed this, the EV9. Now, what does that mean? EV, of course, electric vehicle, and 9 being that Kia uses 9 for their flagship models like K9. Well, it's the flagship Kia SUV. It's a big SUV. They say it's full size, and we're not doubting them. However, Kia right now is not really talking about the numbers like range or batteries and all that, but what they're really focusing on is the design, the functionality, and the sustainability of the package, because they're using a lot of recycled materials for this vehicle, all the way inside with recycled, upcycled fishing nets, fibers, and all that, all those kinds of materials. But of course, what's going to be important for a lot of us, particularly customers of vehicles like this, is the functionality. And come here, come closer. See, this is a 3-row SUV. That is going to be key for this model, particularly in our market, because a lot of people do like it when you have a big SUV that can fit the whole family, and that's clearly what this is. Now, we'd love to show you the interior, but as you can see, people are really gravitating towards the EV9. But what's unique about this is that it has a seamless dashboard with 3 screens. I think 12.3 inches, 12.3 inches, and another 5-inch screen. Now, as you can see, yes, everybody is in the EV9. Very, very interesting indeed. Very space-aged seats. You have 2 in front, 2 in the middle, and I think another 2 in the very back. We can't get a look at what the seat is, but yes, 3 rows right there. It's all folded down. Pretty neat. For charging, you have this port right here. I think it might be Type 2. Again, we're a bit short on the details yet, but it seems like a CCS maybe. Yeah, looks like a CCS to me. But of course, depends on however they spec it, depending on your market. Ooh, auto close. What's really neat here? Look at the wheels. Now, normally we joke about wheels, never use a square wheel. Well, this one looks like a square wheel to us, which is pretty cool. If anything, it seems like a bigger, much bigger version of the wheel like they use in the Kia Soul. So we'd love to show you more, but yep, it's pretty busy in there. And hopefully, Kia offers this in our market as soon as they can. But as we can tell right now, is that they're going to have to wait a little bit for a vehicle like this in our market because, well, as you can imagine, a lot of people are really looking forward to this vehicle in their own market. So we'll see when it comes to ours. Now, even Mercedes-Benz, yes, Mercedes-Benz is getting into the EV game. And here in South Korea, we're seeing a bit of that already. Now, in the Philippines, we haven't seen any of their EQS models yet, but here they are. This is the EQS, and it's the one with the AMG, it's one of the AMG models, meaning it's the one geared for driving dynamics. We can't really say geared anymore, but it's kind of tweaked for that kind of purpose. So this should be exciting to drive once, or if it does come into our market. I mean, just looking at the car now, look at the wheels, look at the styling, it's very, very different. It actually reminds me of the CLS from before, and I remember I really do like the CLS. Love the wheels, especially the AMG wheels. Looking inside, I wonder if I can open it. Nope, they won't let me open that yet. So, but we can check out what's inside. A big screen right there in the middle. Very nice steering wheel. That interior looks plush. And yeah, we can't wait to get this in our market. I mean, I'm sure a lot of customers for Mercedes are waiting for that. But this is the one that we think is going to be important because it's the SUV. And looking at it now, it really does look impressive. I mean, you see these things in pictures from foreign motor shows. And let me tell you now that when you walk up to it, it's a totally different experience. It's very impressive to see, looking at the grille with all the stars, similar to what they have on the Formula One car when they have all those stars. I'm actually looking if there's a red one for Niki Lauda, but no, there's none there. But looking at it now, big Cooper tires, yeah, nice wheels. It's a very impressive looking SUV, and whoa, check out the interior. Come in. Now, we can't open the door yet, but look at that. I mean, it's very, very luxurious, very forward with the way. It's actually a one-piece kind of screen thing going on there. But look at the back. Look at the back seat. Now, imagine cruising long distances in this one. You've got 2 screens, very, very plush seating. And of course, the fact that it's an EV makes it all the more better. I mean, we're already seeing these EVs from Audi and BMW in the Philippines. This one, yeah, would be right up there. So hopefully they introduce it soon. Of course, those two weren't the only ones on display. Mercedes also revealed three more models here for this market. The EQE 500 4MATIC. We want to get close, but there's a lot of guys looking at the car now. But it looks nice. It's a bit smaller than the other one. Maybe similar to something like a, I don't know, Porsche Cayenne, I think, with the size. It's an EQE, so it's also electrified. But this is the one that's really catching my eye right now. It's the SL. And my God, it's an AMG model. Wow, that's a nice. It's got the full Afalterbach, the AMG logo right there on the lip of it. It's very, very interesting. I think this one does like 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 in like 3.6 seconds. Very much supercar territory. But if you want something truly luxurious, well, check this one out. It's a Maybach. So yeah, I mean, this is one of those cost no object kind of things. I mean, look at the paint scheme of this one. This one actually, I think it's the special one with, yeah, Virgil Abloh, the special edition. They revealed this a few months ago online and maybe another motor show, I think. But seeing it in person, it is pretty impressive. I mean, that's really the thing with Maybach. They level it up from what you can expect. And I don't know, what's the lotto number at now? But by far, the strangest car at the Mercedes booth has to be this one. Now, they call this the Moncler edition. They partnered up with, I think, the jacket manufacturer. And, well, they used something to make it into something. It's hard to describe. Of course, Moncler makes those jackets that look puffed up for winter. Well, you can see it's kind of ready for winter. But outside, it's actually Sakura season or pot cod. Yeah, cherry blossoms. Of course, no Seoul Mobility Show would ever be complete without a visit to Hyundai. And over here, they're making a big showing of various models like Kona and stuff. But the stuff we're really interested in, models like this. So race car and it's electric, it's a Hyundai N model. But the one that we really like is this one because it's so retro, it's so cool, especially the wheels, the shape. We think it's just about ready to hit 88 miles per hour. Now look at, I mean, because you can see looking at the front, it looks pretty cool, pretty retro. That's something we're really looking forward to with a lot of car makers. But what's really got us excited is over here in the Hyundai booth. This is the updated Hyundai Sonata. And as you can see, it looks pretty fantastic. Now, in the Philippine market, largely we've moved away from the sedans, which is why we no longer have the Sonata in our market. But still, it's nice to dream. Now look at the front. Look at that very neat DRL over there. That's something that you don't really see in a lot of movies. If anything, it's actually got a very nice allusion to the Hyundai Staria. But look at the front. Of course, your headlights are right here, but it looks very proper, very futuristic. Again, if you put this in sci-fi, it'll probably look right in place over there. Wheels are nice. This is, of course, the N-line variant, which is why it looks much sportier. There's another one over there, which is a standard variant, but this is the one we really like. Now, let's check out the interior. Given that it's an N-line, the interior is properly sporty. It's not something that we're going to be using for, let's say, cruising or sitting in the back of, but I think the person who gets one of these will really enjoy driving it because of the extra driving dynamics they factor in. Of course, we're not sure if they're going to do an N version, a proper N version, but yeah, maybe they probably will. But what's really nice, of course, the back seat here is nice as well, but look at the rear of the car. I mean, how cool is that? If anything, it has shades of the older 300ZX from like back in the 90s, the way this looks. Again, very retro, just like the Hyundai DeLorean we showed you over there. But this one looks very nice. Of course, Hyundai is also focusing on design, but also practicality, because look at the trunk, is actually quite spacious. You can even fold down the rear seats from here. There's no spare tire, but there is going to be a tire repair kit, at least presumably for now. But still, it's good to see that Hyundai is progressing with a lot of their vehicles already, especially with the way things look. Like we showed you with Mercedes, the premium sector is very big in Korea. That's why BMW, actually the BMW group, has a big showing. We have here the iX1, the electric version of the X1. So if you like small crossovers from BMW, this is something to look at. Now over here, the XM. Now they did show us this in Bangkok recently. Brent was able to take a look at it. And again, in person, it is very impressive. Now, not everyone's going to be a big fan of this front end, but still, it does have quite a presence when you see one on the road and even on the show floor. BMW Motorrad is here. Looks very, very sleek right there. I'm sure our man Brando would love to get a ride of that. But over here, they have the concept Urbanaut, which is very interesting, like a living room on wheels with plants inside. Pretty neat. Of course, being that Mini is part of the BMW group, that's why you have the electric Resolute edition. That looks really nice. I wasn't actually expecting to see one of these around here. But given that the luxury sector is a very big thing in Korea, well, it stands to reason that we will see a few of them right here. Now let's go over to Genesis. If Toyota has Lexus and Honda has Acura, then Hyundai has Genesis. They make a big showing here, of course, because it's one of their homegrown luxury brands. You see here the GV70 electrified, the G80 sedan electrified, and of course, a concept car. Over there, we have, I think it's called the Concept X. Let's pan over there. So it looks pretty sweet. It's a convertible, but yeah, well, it's a lot of guys around it, understandably, but it looks really cool, especially with the way they designed the front end. That's actually something that Genesis have been working on to make as their signature. Now, Genesis, of course, we've had Genesis in our market before, but not as a standalone brand. We had the Hyundai Genesis sedan and the Hyundai Genesis Coupe, but they never really did offer this model in our market, at least not openly. Like they had, I think, indent orders, but not really when it comes to a full-on brand launch. But let's look at what else they have on display. Let's move this way, right? This one looks pretty interesting. It's a very airy hatchback, fastback. It looks different. Go around the front. So this is the GV60, and it's very different compared to what I've seen before. Now, granted, this may have been in the Korean market for a while already, but to us, it's like, whoa, it's different. The way the interior is, it's a bit, it's got a lot of cream, so you have to be very careful with your shoes to not bring in any dirt. But what's really unique, of course, is the dashboard. But these things right here, it's got side view cameras, so you get a display right here, which is pretty neat. Anyways, if anything, this kind of reminds me of, I don't know, Genesis's Mini Cooper. 2023 is a special year for Porsche. That's why they've got this huge display for their 75th anniversary. And they've got a lot of motorsport, really racing cars on display. I mean, this one is the Mission R. It looks very, very sick. I mean, once you see it up close, it's like, wow. I wish we could drive this, but it's really an electric car. It's really only for a very select few drivers. Slick tires, it's, really cool. I think they use this to set a few records, I think at Pikes Peak. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, over here, we have some, this is an entry from the Porsche Museum, a 911, of course. Very, very nice, very pristine. It really looks like it just left the factory floor and they just waxed it. Now, we have here the 911 RSR in the pink pig livery. It looks pretty cool. It'd be nice to see this running, let's say, at the Nürburgring and see how that performs. Now, over here, classic Porsches, the Speedster, of course. Now, I'm not very well versed when it comes to the classic Porsches, but yeah, there really is something about these older Porsches. Now, granted, that roof seems a bit low, so it's not going to be for everyone, especially if you're tall, but still, looks pretty sick. Over there in the middle, what is that? A 357. Wow. That looks different. I'm gonna guess it's electric. Porsche, of course, has a lot of experience when it comes to endurance racing, sports car racing, and prototype racing, which is why we're looking at the 963 right here. This, I think, is the one they use for the USA, which is why you would look at it, you'd think that might be the Le Mans endurance car. But no, this is the one they used for, I think, Daytona, the Daytona 24, among other things. Now, over here, we have the Taycan GTS. Now, we've driven the Taycan before, ridiculous acceleration, and this one seems to be the more powerful version. Now we did, yeah, the one we did drive was the Turbo S. This maybe not the most powerful one, but we'll have to check again what our data is on this one. Over there, the Taycan 4S. There's something about green cars, green painted cars, not just green cars, but green cars that really stand out. So that about does it for our time at the Seoul Mobility Show. Honestly, we are still getting used to the term mobility instead of motor when it comes to big trade shows like this. But from what we can see already at this show, is that the future really is looking bright for mobility and motoring in general. Now, there is really going to be a big shift towards EVs, and that's what we're seeing here. But don't worry, from what we can understand and what we can see is that the future really is looking bright and of course very, very exciting for driving in general. We hope you enjoyed this presentation. This is Vince of AutoIndustriya.com. See you at the next Seoul Mobility Show.